Katrina Chalova here. Welcome back to Neurographics for Life. Today, we are talking to silence. It's really important to slow down and go inwards. Neurographic offers a unique pathway to inner stillness by translating our internal dialogue into visual form. As we slow down to draw the repetitive movement that we are going to perform, quiet our mind, create the space for deeper listening. In silence between the lines, insights would emerge, emotions would surface. Accept them, acknowledge them, and let them go. This meditative process gently will reconnect us to our inner truth, foster clarity and presence and self-awareness. Whenever I am down or I need guidance, I would always pick up a pen and just start drawing the lines. And so I would invite you to do the same. Explore the space with the Neurographica line. Regardless of the topic today, we're not going to think of anything in particular. We're going to explore the connection of conscious and subconscious today by drawing the lines from every direction possible and really listening to ourselves deeply, noticing everything our body does, every thought that comes. Draw as many lines as you want. When you look at your drawing after a while, and you would feel, okay, that's enough. I feel satiated. There's some insights have come. Make sure you write them down. And breathe. I'll be quiet for a little while to allow you to switch off from the contents of the video and just be with yourself and hear your inner voice. How are you guys doing? Um, for me, I can already clearly see some shapes coming out in this C. Somehow association came. I need to think what that means to me. I can clearly see the upward side and the downward side. So I'm going to trace down this huge circle. Have you guys been able to find any shapes? See one here that did not make it to this page fully, unfortunately, but that's all right. Our brain has the capability of creating the full picture even out of different segments. And I clearly see one here. I don't know what these are. The thoughts were coming up with regards to work. It has been on my mind, and some amount of stress is still there. So perhaps my current space of my silence and my subconscious is focused on work. Simply put, did you guys get any insights? Notice how your body is feeling. Notice, like, I got a headache. Again, for me, that is tons and tons of thoughts that keep running through my mind at every moment of time. So every thought, every feeling in the body, or perhaps you are feeling emotional, you touched upon something deeper, note it down, acknowledge it. It has a meaning. You can connect the feeling and the emotional determinant of the same. So think about it. You definitely know the answer, what it is, how it is, why it is, what is it connected to. We need to neurograph the shapes. Neurographing means putting neurographic line on top of the straight line of the shape. And after neurographing the shapes, we are going to be completing the rounding process, which would take a bit of time. And when you do the rounding process, make sure you keep asking yourself, what is it? What does it tell me? Why is it here? What is this so small? What is this so big? In Neurographica, you could also interpret this as past, present, and future, and think about it in that respect. I already figured that for me it's work, because work thoughts were coming up during this. So gradually I'm going to get into it. My subconscious is going to tell me what is it in work that is the focus at the moment, or I'm looking for a way of pushing through some blocks, pushing forward, perhaps in a faster, more efficient way, and therefore perhaps I'll get the answers here. So I start rounding every connection that I created. This would allow the information flow to happen. This would allow the monkey brain to concentrate on the perfectionism part of my being, whilst my subconscious would be allowed to send me messages for me to interpret and to understand. Whilst I'm rounding, the thought came to my mind, why am I drawing? Why has it come to me yesterday to slow down, to listen to myself, to really observe? So what I can relate this to is that before the thought of work came, and now the question of why am I here? What is this for? It's coming up. So I guess it's not really about work now. It's more about the purpose and what is the idea of doing all this for me. And as I was starting doing this Neurographica to give the people tool to be able to manage their own transformations and create their own beautiful lives, there are points of time where you think, where is it all going? And you do doubt yourself. So I guess for me, the question also came, and the answer also came already. And I'm thinking of purpose here, and I'm guessing that this is my present. And in the present, my subconscious question, my inner message to myself is to focus on purpose. And I'm going to write here purpose. I'm highlighting these thoughts and sharing the messages and sharing the insights so that you guys also can go a little deeper. And although it's okay to also create drawings without having consciously had a conversation, without having consciously brought about the information on the sheet of paper, because our brain has already interpreted and understood the situation and has understood the message we're trying to find, and perhaps this will come up a little later in the week or in a day or in a month. However, keep coaching your own self, doing these self-coaching practices of questioning and asking would allow you to go deeper, would allow you to bring about that information and that message and that insight onto the surface and actually make use of it. Same as with me. In your work, at the present, you should focus on purpose. What am I doing it for? And that's how I'm already feeling that this A4 sheet is going to grow. However, for the purpose of time and the idea of just sharing this methodology with you of thinking in silence and giving yourself time and space to communicate to your own self, with your own self, is important. You can do it at any point of time. You might be home alone, or you're waiting for somebody. It's always worth having a pen and paper with you. Anyhow, feel it. You can close your eyes also and see what images are connecting to what you're drawing. For me, the image is a fog and a path. Yeah. Although the purpose, the mission is there, the purpose is not full yet in my mind. So I guess drilling deeper, I'll continue rounding and get more insights on what is it all about. If you guys are rounding and you feel that there are more shapes that you can see, more shapes are coming up, please do highlight those as well in a similar manner that we have done here. I would request for you to only use circles, not use any other shapes unless this is, an absolutely must for you. So let's get on with the rounding process. Again, I've asked myself if I am here, if myself is on this sheet, And yes, I went there. And when I was just starting to round up me, thinking about what is me, why am I also here, and then the whole thought process went into all the practices that I have mastered so far. So perhaps this is my practices, my knowledge that is feeding into my purpose, right? Because purpose is much bigger than me. It's bigger than the practices. Even if I were to complete this purpose would still be bigger. It's interesting to see where would I go in the future. Let's see what else is going to come up for me. Hope you guys are doing okay. I am starting to feel a little tightness in my jaws. I know what that is for me. My headache is better though, I guess, since I've harmonized the purpose. It's a little more clear in my head, even though consciously I'm not yet understanding. My subconscious has already read the message and has sent it to the neuronal pathways to form the appropriate networks. So let's get on with it. Now that I have started rounding practices, I am shown that it's not about the knowledge, it's not about all the practices that I have studied. These practices are the self practices, and again, this is very apt for me due to work. I mostly practice things that are going to be useful for work, for creating algorithms, for creating school courses. However, recently I did forget about doing the practices for my own self, and that's why it's in the past. That practices and knowledge actually what brought me close to the purpose. So I should never forget. I should put my attention here as well and return to practicing more for myself, to growing further, so that the purpose also becomes bigger and stronger and perhaps moves into the future as well. Wow, today is quite deep. I did not expect for this to go this way. Oh well, I guess my brain knows better what I need at the moment. I would be amazed and would love to see, guys, what messages and what ideas and insights you would get from the field of lines. It would be quite fascinating for all of us to share our experiences. Of course, one needs to have courage and yeah, to share is not easy. I get that. Myself, I'm working on this. So anyhow, continue thinking. I ask myself what practices I should renew to start with. My brain straight away gives me answers. So, guys, I really, really encourage you to just keep questioning whatever thought comes. Question, you'll get the answer. You can see there is another shape that have come out of the lines in the process of conjoining the lines. And for me now, it's a little bit moved in the future. Once the purpose is clear and I follow the purpose clearly, this came to me as a guide. And how did I figure that out? I just started thinking in terms of the teachers and my previous experiences. And recently also something got highlighted in life and somebody kind of appeared, or the thought appeared. So just connecting the life events or recent events or perhaps planned out events in the near future, see if they're also here, if they're also connected to what you're drawing about. Sometimes it seems that, I'm thinking about food and how is that the whole thing is related. I got an idea that I don't know at all what I'm drawing about, but I'm thinking about food and I'm hungry and I want to eat. Fair enough, but what is hunger? Why were you not hungry before the drawing, and when you started drawing you were feeling hungry? What does it mean for you? Or nothing comes up, no feeling come up, nothing physical. In fact, you're feeling what a waste of time, or I have better things to do. Ask yourself, why did I come here in the first place? If I have other better things to do, what am I doing here? Why did I start? And why am I not feeling anything? Why am I refusing to let go? No thoughts are coming. Why? Right? You're accepting the fact, sure. You're asking why. And trust me, when you ask, oh, sometimes insights come up like fears and resistance. A lot of different things. So please don't think that I'm not getting any thoughts or I'm not getting any feelings, because you are. Right. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I can clearly see kind of a squarish shape here. And I am going to highlight it in my mind. And here I can see something else. Another semicircle. Very interesting for me now. What could this be? Right. How are you guys doing? I am feeling my mood has improved. Feeling a little joyous because I'm getting all these messages and they make me feel good, and I am understanding my current state of affairs inside my brain. One thing is for sure, it's very relevant to my current present kind of scenarios and days. Not sure what this is for me, but what I'm feeling that here is quite empty. So if you also have this feeling, then explore this further. Put more lines in. Lines can go from other lines on you, or you can just do more lines, directing your hand in this corner, because direction, we always have a direction A to B. We are going somewhere, so direct your hand and see what path it will take. I also feel that, you know, some of the lines are stuck within the circles, so I would want to take them out, free them, create more movement. Yeah. Mm. Sometimes, guys, if you don't see any shapes or um, anything coming up, you can take a photograph and then see on the screen. On the screen, our information read, our eyes read the information differently. Or you can just simply put circles around the areas where lines connect the most. So for me, the dilemma is that I feel one huge shape, and I'm figuring out that I feel that, oh my God, if I put that and it becomes bigger than purpose and what it could be, and then I'm feeling a little scared. So yeah, overcome the fear. Now I feel really, really good about myself. I don't know what this is. But it really made me feel good. As I'm rounding up, I'm going to be asking more questions. And another one. On A4 sheet, sometimes might not be enough space for the brain work to happen the way that you want it to. So you can easily increase the drawing platform. You can put A3, even A1. In this work, I would not like to put more than 7-8 shapes together, because there's a tendency of the brain to process 9 blocks of information at the same time. So you don't want to overload it, because then it kind of does a shabby job with the rest of information. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to stop at this unless I'm going to go and draw my scale. I'm not going to put more shapes. I need to go further in and explore these shapes to understand further ideas. And I really, really want to know what this big circle is. So I'm going to return to the silence and see if I can come up with some insights. Maybe I'll close my eyes and it'll give me an idea of what that is. I definitely feel uplifted. That's a big shift from the beginning. I hope you guys are also enjoying the process and you managed to hear to your inner voice. Right, took a little silent time to finish up the rounding. Very, very powerful drawing it turns out to be for me today. I hope you guys also have a great experience exploring your inner world. And now we move on to the fun coloring part. Today, I would like to choose the colors just from a palette, the colors that I want to kind of bring into this. When I close my eyes, I see this whole multitude, like a rainbow patches of colors. The idea of Neurographica is to create big blobs of colors, big shapes. So we don't really create a mosaic, but I see really bright colors. So perhaps this is what I'm going to use as well. And if you guys see, I have so many boxes of colors here in front of me. Even if you have just a box of 12 different shades, that's also fine. Our subconscious in this algorithm always tells us what's best for us. So pick the colors that you like and enjoy the coloring process. Think of what this color means. I like it, I want to use it. Once you start putting it in, what is this color? How does it make you feel? Where did the color start? Where did the color finish? Did it highlight the full shape? Did it unite the two shapes? Ask these questions, be aware, analyze what is happening on the sheet. Just might find further insights in that process. And I am going to start with this wine color, I think. And how I'm going to use it, I'm just letting my hand color first. I'm not gonna be putting shades or anything. I'm just putting this big patch into the drawing. And frankly, my head is showing the direction. From purpose, it went into the past. And my thought comes, remember why you came into these practices. You know, very often, I meet people from different strides of life, and I've not yet met a person who is on a development or improvement or growth path that was not triggered by some life events. And what is maroon? Yeah, maroon for me. Sorry guys, you probably hear that car in the background. That also has the purpose. Oh, how irritating this can be. Okay, now I'm noticing that I am noticing the things outside. I am being bothered by things outside. What does it all mean for me? Right. So now I'm going to see that this color came. I have to reference back to my practices as my thoughts were before. This square also has the meaning for me. This archetype connected, all these three shapes, everything has the meaning. It all makes sense to me. So when and the irritation came, I know exactly what my mind is telling me. Okay, now I want to take green. So many green colors. I always keep a spare sheet of paper so that I can test what shade of each color would resonate more. So now I have a better understanding of brighter green. Okay. Again, letting my hand go and enjoying the freedom of coloring. Yeah. You guys, colors can come on top of each other, they can interfere with each other, they can add on top of each other, so that, it's always we're in a mix of different energies, different colors. Um, nothing is separate from each other. I feel like connecting this line, so I do that. We can make any type of corrections and additions in the drawing during the whole process. Interesting, I'm feeling cold. I wonder why. Quite sunny outside, and it was, I think, 32 degrees or something. Oh, I know why. Remember, when I was trying to do this shape, I was feeling fear. So fear created this feeling of cold. Usually people feel cold when they're scared, they feel very cold, and that's what I'm grateful to be able to tap into, that fear, whatever it is, and get rid of it. And I just had an idea of what fear that is. Fear of discomfort. Every change in life comes with discomfort, and you're not prepared to face that discomfort, it's going to be a tough road. So the fear here is of that. Very fascinating drawing today. I thought it would be nice and easy. Oh well. I am very grateful to be doing this today. There are no coincidences. I'm sure very soon things will be coming up, making total sense out of this. I feel much warmer after I have acknowledged the fear. What is on my inner screen? Here, the car again is. Oh, interesting. And here you Oh, now they're both together making these noises. How uncanny, guys. I want you to know that during Neurographica drawing, whatever is happening inside you and outside you, everything is related. So now all these distractions are happening whilst I'm asking myself very important questions, whilst I am recording this video for you guys to also be in the same field, to also be able to dig deep and figure things out. Well, the universe is letting us know it's not so easy. It's not without anger, irritation. It's not. But we must push through. How amazing. Right. Very happy with the green color. I know what it is. Practice, healing, purpose, me. How beautiful. Next, I would like to use yellow. And for me, this shape is yellow. What do I connect yellow to? Yeah, exactly what this circle is. When you try to get ideas, you ask yourself questions. What are the associations? Yellow color. Do I have yellow in my wardrobe? How often do I use this color? Here, for me, yellow is awareness. And yellow is understanding, being grown up, basically. Realizations, being in awareness, being in a flow. Highlighted, and from here that I have not rounded. How amazing. How are you guys feeling about your drawing? Look at it at a distance, or take a photograph. Does it give you the feeling of inspiration? Are you liking it? I am liking this indeed, and I'm loving the insights that it is giving me. Just now realize that the healing circle is almost all green. Very apt. Cool. What would be the next color that I would like to use? Again, I want to feel the colors. In my thoughts, this pink color is love, and I'm adding self-love into my self-healing. By the way, adding colors can be with the purpose as well. Perhaps in your drawing you would to add a particular notion, a particular concept, and you associate that concept with a color. No problem. You want to put that, take that color, put it in, name it, claim it. Done. Exactly. Well, the color came to me, but then I put the association of self-love into self-healing. And I'm very happy with that. I feel that is here also. And again, I feel that this is love. And it connected with the guide. Love and guide. There's so many ways that I can interpret it in. It's interesting how we would think, how you would think about it, guys. We all have different stories, different interpretations, different scenarios. Exactly the same color can have such a different meaning for you altogether. Remember, guys, when you are coloring, it's minimum 2 segments that lay together. We are not creating the mosaic. Okay? Next. Next, I picked up this color. And I see it here. I'm getting thoughts that for me this is higher knowledge, the color of wisdom, the color of crown chakra, connection to the divine, or connection to higher self, whichever interpretation one would use for, well, God, I guess, whatever you call the higher energies. the divine in you. This color is creating resistance in me. I'm not liking it. And I'm asking why. I liked it here on the page, not liking it here. Why? Yeah. This is what is creating discomfort in me. See, it mostly went through me and purpose. And when I was drawing, I was saying that for me, this color associates with a connection to higher self. So I have put the connection here with higher self, but perhaps crown chakra does require balancing. And therefore my brain is getting triggered by this color. In fact, it was telling me to mix it with blue. All right. I was getting an idea of mixing this with blue. So I am going to allow myself and see how that would feel. Oh, and I'm loving this color. What does this mean? How is it, guys, going for you? Perhaps you also got some resistance to some colors. I wanted to mention also that the same color might not mean the same thing to you in every drawing. So figuring out associations every time that you pick up a certain color is quite important to get a better understanding of the drawing. Now I completely am aware of this and how I feel that orange is the color of this circle. And today I associate orange with happiness. And yes, happiness would come with practices, because in neuro-linguistic programming and LLP, one concept is that the feeling, well, psychology also says so, the feeling is something that we have full control over, and we can change it at our will. So happiness is a feeling, so we can easily swap our unhappiness for happiness or dissatisfaction for satisfaction just by changing the way we think about it. Isn't that fascinating? And I'm talking about NLP, which is one of the practices, and I am in a circle of practice. So as you guys can see, nothing again is accidental. So practices would give me practice happiness. How about that? Again, I'm left with no breathing space. Perhaps white is not the color for this topic today. Although I have it in my guide. Fabulous. Purpose. I feel my purpose is blended in with the colors. I'm trying to think, can I perhaps like here and here give it a color? I'm realizing that this is what it is. Just highlighting the fact that the rest of the colors are just passing by, but the color of wisdom, or the color of my purpose here that triggered me, is the color of the purpose today, of color of this purpose, life purpose that I have somehow arrived to through thinking of my work. And you can also do the same, but perhaps purpose is unclear, like it was for me in the beginning. I thought it was getting lost and I could not see it amongst other resources on this page. And one thought leads to the other, and the next, and the next, and that's how you create a completely new path. Nicely and gently, getting the brain to accept and actively install the neuronal connections. Activate the pathways. This is my purpose. This is the one. All right. So I'm feeling quite fascinated with the drawing that I have created. I'm loving the colors. I know the purpose of the drawing. I know the meaning of everything here. Now I'm going to put thicker lines, the power lines that would power up this program. And allow me to move forward with purpose, to move forward with ease. Okay, ease would be the first power line that I would put in, and I would include me in it and my purpose. Healing. Remember, power line or a field line is also a neurographic line. It also goes where we don't expect to see it, and it does not repeat itself at any part of its movement. One. Wisdom would be the second one. Please figure out what power, what external super strength you need to go through with your program. What did come up in your sheet? What would strengthen your ideas or ideals or insights? What will give you strength to move ahead? Do I want another one? I feel like there is one here, and I don't really know what this is. Is something amazing and beautiful that would support me in my journey, would give me strength and courage, resilience. Resilience, perhaps. Beautiful. Do I want more? I don't think so. Now we need to round this up before we move on to the next step. Now I am done with the rounding process. Everything looks nice and in the flow. And what stands out the most for me is, of course, this big circle. I am going to make this shape as my fixation figure. If you remember from our last drawing, fixation figure is our final idea on what we want to focus on. This is my solution to this drawing, my final idea. Guidance, love, self-healing, purpose, it all came into it, and therefore this is, for me, is the highlight, the most important idea of the whole drawing. Please select one for yourself, trace it, highlight it, make it the most prominent shape on this sheet, in this work. You would use a thicker marker for this. And trace it a few times till there is no mistake whatsoever, no confusion whatsoever at what the main purpose, main idea of this drawing was. So now I can see it clearly. It stands out. It's like I brought it onto the forefront. And by doing this, I am making my brain aware of the fact that this is the most important outcome of this whole thought process that I went to. I was very, very happy to talk to my silence, to talk to my inner self today. Completely unexpected what came up, but also overwhelming, and it's a real treasure, in fact, this drawing for me at this point of time. And I did experience an emotional uplift. Many insights came to me. It's probably one of very few drawings where I know what each element means and how they're connected. And I was just really happy to complete this, and now I'm thrilled to share it with you, and I can't wait for you guys to also share your thoughts, your experiences, your topics. How did you enjoy this? I look forward to hearing from you on this. Meanwhile, I'll say bye-bye, and I'm going to finish up the rounding, of course, and see you guys in the next class.